Good morning. Welcome to the 1 Minute Sermon. I'm not on the road today. It's a little rainy outside, and I thought I'd do this from my office. Yesterday's message was more or less about framing our ideas about happiness. I think one of the things that we learned was that happiness is a terribly misunderstood and overused word in our culture. Happiness sort of comes from the word happenings. And so if certain things happen, we get happy. If certain things happen, we get distressed and sad and upset and irate and so forth. Now, the thing is, that's natural. It's probably, par for the course, so to speak. But why do we find ourselves getting in these funks? And how do we get ourselves out of these funks? Or how does God assist us in getting out of these funks? Or maybe how has God prescribed ways for us to live without falling into these funks? Well, I showed a graph yesterday of 1 week of a stock called Berkshire Hathaway. And that stock went down for that 1 week. And when you zoom in on that week, it looks terrible. And that's what a lot of us do with our lives. We zoom in on whatever we're going through, and that's natural. I mean, it is just absolutely natural to zoom in on what you're actually going through on Tuesday. But if we could push pause, like Tuesday night, and zoom out and see the big picture. The big picture for Berkshire Hathaway is that for 20 years it's went up. And if you had been buying that stock at the beginning, you'd be very happy with it and you could live with this week's setback. And if we would zoom out on our lives and we get the bigger picture of all of our blessings and all of our opportunities and all of the things that have fallen to us, then it helps us be able to take that week, that situation, and put it in perspective. Now, how to avoid these funks? Maybe that's one thing we can do is pull back and have a big picture view of it. But research and scripture both agree that the more you serve, the more you give of your time, the more you try to help other people, the better health you have, and actually the happier you are. So maybe another thing to avoid the funk is to stop thinking the world revolves around you and try to help somebody else. I remember a lot of my Disney as much as I remember the scripture. And one of the things that Mrs. Potts says in Beauty and the Beast is there's nothing so unnerving as a servant who is not serving. And that's true. Have a good day.